Kenobi's Blade. Chapter 12. Keeping her eyes on the mage, Tahiri took a deep, calming breath. She was certain that Orlok would try to kill them now, and she was amazed to realize that she felt pity for the mage, mixed with her fear of him. She sensed that he wasn't nearly as sure of himself as he pretended to be. Suddenly, Orlok's voice boomed out again, and Tahiri knew he must have speakers hidden in the walls to amplify his words. Why not save yourselves a lot of trouble and give up now? You cannot hope to defeat me. My followers and I have you outnumbered by at least 10 to 1. Tahiri felt Tion place a hand on her shoulder. Her other hand, still holding the holocron, rested on Anakin's shoulder. Strength and encouragement flowed through her touch. But our power comes from the Force, the silver-haired instructor said. So don't assume that the odds are in your favor. Orlok's hollow laugh echoed around and around the curved walls of the large room. Why, then? We must put your confidence in the Force to the test, and we will see whose power is the greater. Wait, where's Uldir? Tahiri asked. The mage raised his purple-robed arms in a shrug. I left him behind with your little droid. He knows nothing of my secret passageways into this room. Unfortunately, his friendship with you makes him weak and sentimental. This fight need not concern him. Now give me back my holocron. Orlok made a motion with one hand, and a dozen Ranats in purple sashes appeared on the circular walkway 5 meters above the floor. Each Ranat held a blaster. We don't want to hurt you, Anakin said. The mage only laughed again. Why, isn't that a pity? He folded his arms across his chest. Tahiri noticed that Orlok's fingers still played with the silver spangles that edged his robe. Thunder echoed through the chamber. The sharp lightning storm smell of ozone filled the air. Mist began to seep outward from the walls, hiding the armed rodent creatures up on the catwalk. Now defend yourselves, if you're able, Orlok scoffed. A blaster bolt ricocheted off the floor directly in front of Tahiri. I will take care of the Ranats, Ikrit said to his companions. May the Force be with you. Then the Jedi Master bounded toward the closest wall and swarmed up one of the metal ladders toward the catwalk. More energy bolts whizzed toward the companions. Trust the Force, Tahiri reminded herself as Ikrit's furry white form disappeared into the mist above. The next moment, she and Anakin dropped to the floor and rolled in opposite directions. Blaster shots missed them by a few centimeters and spanged harmlessly off the floor. Tion's lightsaber was in her hand now. With her blade, she caught the energy bolts that came at her, deflecting them toward the ceiling. Tahiri jumped back to her feet, grabbed Anakin's hand and pulled him toward one of the tall statues. Realizing that she meant to use the statue as a shield, Anakin ran with her. As they dashed for shelter, several blasters, twisted and warped beyond all hope of repair, clanged to the deck plates beneath the catwalk. Dodging between the statue and the wall, Anakin grinned at Tahiri. Good for Ikrit, he said. I don't think we'll have to worry about those Ranats anymore. Tahiri peeked out from behind the statue. Ipes, she said. Maybe we don't have Ranats to worry about, but here come the droids. I wonder where Master Ikrit went. She looked around the side of the statue again. The mage himself still stood near the opposite wall. Fog hovered behind him, and a dramatic purple spotlight shone down from above, so that it looked as if he was surrounded by a bright purple haze. Tahiri knew he must be directing the attack, but she wasn't sure how. Are the droids coming this way? Anakin asked, tapping the statue experimentally. It gave a hollow thunk, like a bell made of pottery. Yes, Tahiri said. Uh-oh! They're halfway across the room. Tion is trying to draw their attention. She's under the catwalk. Good, Anakin said. Remember how we've used the Force together before? One of us thinks an object light and the other one lifts or pushes it? Of course I remember, Tahiri whispered. We're a team. Suddenly she understood what he wanted to do. Okay. Now, Anakin said. Tahiri let her eyes fall closed and imagined the statue being light as a soap bubble floating on the air. Beside her, she heard Anakin's quick, indrawn breath. Then, just a few seconds later, a colossal crash reverberated through the room as the statue toppled and broke against the hard deck plates. Tahiri opened her eyes to survey their handiwork. Statue rubble lay scattered everywhere. In the wreckage, she counted at least 5 ruined droids. One of the still intact pirate droids turned and fired at them. They ducked and separated. Fools! Orlok's voice snarled. Why, I can defeat you without my Ranats or my droids, if need be. He toyed with the spangled sleeve of his cloak. An ominous clanking, chugging sound rumbled from beneath the floor. Before Tahiri could figure out what the sound meant, A door slid open in the curved wall. All of the droids in the room swiveled their blasters to point at it. Still crouched and ready to dodge blaster fire, Tahiri saw Uldir's broad shoulders and shaggy chestnut hair framed in the doorway. Beside him, riding on R2-D2's domed head, was Ikrit. "So this is the Chamber of Wonders you've told me about," Uldir said in a voice that was deeper and steadier than Tahiri had ever heard from him before. Orlok looked surprised and confused for a moment. The ominous clanking, chugging sound grew louder. His eyes blinked furiously. Then he recovered. "Why, yes, my boy," he said pleasantly. "As long as you're here, stay where you are and watch true power in action."